Now, this is the second instalment of this film, which was it's actually one film cut in two rather than two separate films, or that's the way it kind of feels. The first installment was amazing. It was really, really good. It was had that good blend of really light-hearted with a bit of drama. The visuals were great. The performances wonderful. You get Ariana Grande, it's obviously a singer, so she did really, really well in the role. It's a musical. And Cynthia Erivo also did great. The second instalment, it possibly suffers from having been hacked off from the top of the other film because as a standalone, it doesn't really work. The performances are still terrific. They're more melodramatic than the first film, but they had a bit of that in the first film. But it's the writing, I think, that lets this one down a little bit because there's no coherent story. It's kind of like everything's been thrown at it. You don't have a kind of strong central story to follow and to they've all kind of got their own little aims. In this one, the Wicked Witch has been exiled for an indeterminate amount of time from the city of Oz, and she's living in the woods. We aren't really told how much time has passed. It would be tempted to think this is just happening right away after the first end of the first film, but there seems to be a gap because coming back, the Wicked Witch's sister is now mayor, but she wasn't at the end of the last film. And Glinda, Ariana Grande's character, is a kind of PR rep for the regime of the wizard and his sidekick, played by Michelle Yeoh. And she's got to kind of deal with the fact that her friend is hiding out and she's, Ozzy's most wanted at this point, and there's a big PR campaign against her, being led by the wizard to demonise her and give the people a common enemy. But what Elphaba wants to do is expose the wizard as a liar. So that sounds like it's a good solid story, but it just kind of loses its way during the film and becomes kind of both bloated and yet also unexplored. So a lot of the stories, it doesn't go into a great deal of depth in them, but there's lots of different stories. They've integrated the Wizard of Oz characters, the Tin Man and the Scarecrow and Cowardly Lion into this, and Dorothy to some extent, although she's very background. But the Scarecrow story, to me, doesn't work at all. It doesn't have any consistency. But now, this film it's still a beautiful film to watch, and Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo are still fantastic, and Jeff Goldblum is great as the wizard. But the songs aren't quite as memorable, and the story is a bit all over the place. There isn't the same light touch, the same kind of flippancy and fluff of the first film. It tries to be a lot more earnest and melodramatic, and it works okay, but it would work better if they had focused perhaps more strongly on a central story rather than taking us off into the Wicked Witch of the East story, which was quite interesting in a way, but again, it wasn't necessarily done justice. It was done in a bit. She's the mayor, and she's in love with Munchkin, and he doesn't have the same feelings for her. So she puts Munchkins on a lockdown in order to keep him near her. And obviously that's very sad. But again, it probably could have used a bit more space to explore that. But they're trying to pack a lot in. Glinda is about to get married, and that doesn't quite go as planned. It goes a wee bit PG at one point.
Couldn't be happier.
It's more important than ever that you lift everyone's spirits.
So Elphaba is, again, she's a very sympathetic character, as someone who's not experienced that much love and acceptance and is finally just an absolute outcast on the wanted list. So she does well. And Ariana Grande, her waif-like, innocent, almost childlike beauty and energy is great as Glinda, who's now got this magic bubble that she can travel about in, and it looks like magic, but it isn't magic, it's actually technology designed by the wizard.
No way! I'm obsessulated.
The wand really sells it.
Because happy is what happens.
Glinda, the girl!
When all your dreams come true.
It's the Wicked Witch!
Elphaba is trying to warn the population of Oz that he's a scoundrel.
Power.
But she's not getting anywhere fast. There's a kind of side story again with the animals. That was in the first one too, where they're getting their voices taken away from them. Again, there's a little bit of unclarity, a lack of clarity there as to what happens. At one point, they kind of leave Oz and then they suddenly come back.
You can't resist this.
Who could?
You know who could.
There's a house, and it's flying through the sky. I'm off to see the wizard.
I don't want to dump on this film too much. It is a great achievement, there's no doubt about it. It's great visually, nice songs, great performances. It's just not as good as the first one. So, 3 out of 5. They should possibly be watched together. It'd be a long watch, but or at least soon after each other.
Bring me the room of the Wicked Witch of the West. So I have proof that she's dead.
Stop this. It's gone too far.
I have one kind of slight issue with the scarecrow. Are there 2 scarecrows in them in the film? Because otherwise the scarecrow plot doesn't make that much sense. Could be wrong.